Hi, I'm Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law, and this is the Elder Law Report. We're going to talk about assets, and some quirky assets. What is an asset? What is important to you? Why should you do estate planning? And we'll tell you some of the funny maybe things that we've seen happen in assets that you wouldn't think that really were the linchpin of a case and settling a case, or that people think are important to them. So Jane, an asset can really be, I'm joined by my fellow attorney, Jane Dearwester, in our Hendersonville office. Jane's in our litigation department, is a litigation attorney. And Jane, you've had a case where, and we've had a case where, the linchpin and the settlement in the end on that case was a 4-foot chicken, right?
Yes.
Foot metal chicken.
Indeed. That is true.
Right. That was what got it done.
That is what got it done. And it just barely fit in the back of my 4Runner, but we got it done. We got it back for our client. And she was very happy, very pleased.
He was. Jane, I mean, I've seen people, litigate over sets of china and just, it's unreal. Like
comic books. Baseball cards.
Well, it's what people value and why.
Sure.
So things have sentimental value.
Absolutely.
Value, inherent value because, or some kind of value because of what they mean to me.
Yeah. Nostalgia. I think a lot of it for this particular client with this chicken sculpture, she bought it for her dad, and it really just made her think of her dad. And he used to sit on the porch next to this sculpture. And so it was kind of like a piece of the home for her. And I think that's why it was adamant. We've seen other things. I think another thing we see often are how people care about their pets, how they're so focused and intent upon, hey, if something happens to me, I want to make sure somebody's taking care of my dog or taking care of my cats. I don't just want them, taken to the shelter and living with some stranger. So, that's another thing that's technically considered personal property. And, we can set up pet trusts and do that kind of planning. But we've got a lot of animal lovers here in Western Carolina. I know they're everywhere, all over the state. But that's another thing that people really want to make very specific arrangements for their pets after their death.
That is very true. A pet can become like a child.
Oh, yes.
And be part of the family for many people. And we want to respect that and make sure that pet's taken care of, and that there's money set aside to buy food for, have care for that, vet care for that pet. Assets are certainly your money, your accounts, bank accounts, your CDs, annuities, IRAs, 401ks, those are assets. Your house, any other real estate, but they're also, and I think this is overlooked, there's also the baseball glove that I had since I was young and used it to play center field in high school, right? And that I fully intend to use it to play catch with maybe a grandchild one day. And I might want to make sure that that thing might not mean something to just me, but maybe one of my grandchildren, right? Or children. And I want to make sure that that's passed along. We do have a mechanism to account for all those items and make sure they're brought within the estate, and that you're able to designate who gets what and why on the estate planning side, which is super important. And I mean, that just matters. It's your culture, it's your memories, it's your legacy that you pass down to your family. That makes your family and you different from someone else and someone else's family. I mean, those stories are priceless, really, right? Yeah.
And I think we try to encourage that when our clients come in initially, and as they're working with our estate planning drafters through their documents and their process, that we're trying to customize the process to them. And ultimately, we want their estate plan to be a reflection of what they want to happen to their stuff, who they want to leave their assets to, how they want those assets to be distributed. It really is a custom deal every single time.
Mhm.
Every single estate plan is completely custom, which I think is the power of it. We're not just trying to rush people through. We're really trying to determine what's important to them and have their estate plan reflect that.
Agreed. I would say whether it's litigating over important assets stemming from an estate, from a trust, will, things like that, or whether it's planning to protect and safely pass those assets, we can help. I would offer a free consult to meet with myself or one of our other experienced estate planning attorneys here at McIntyre Elder Law. You can take advantage of that free consultation by calling 1-888-999-6600 or by going online and scheduling right on our calendar at mcelderlaw.com. That's mcelderlaw.com/scheduling if you want to go directly there, /scheduling. So thank you, Jane. I appreciate you joining me today. Okay.
Thank you.